Love 1.
Now, one thing I can tell you about Timo Boll is younger players tend to have a lot of trouble with him because he's so clever. He gives you everything you don't want.
1-1.
And there's a long, long list of things you don't want when you're playing against Timo Boll.
2-1.
Felix Lebron, one of the fastest, most aggressive non-Chinese players in the world.
2-2.
He likes to follow his serve. He likes to serve long. Not so many players serve long as frequently as Felix does. And a nice tight serve here, gets a second bounce. Timo sneaks it past. Tough way to win a point. The counter almost comes down. Timo's been lobbed to a lot. Very few defenders get through Timo. The power there. And the RPB, the reverse penhold backhand.
3-4.
Little fortune there for Felix, whatever it may have been. Long bottle challenge serve, and then he's right on top of the bounce.
4-4.
So tied back up. Alexei watching on from the couches near the court. Nice parallel backhand receive. Timo Magic Boll, the name of the man. He's pulled off some incredible victories in recent history. Ooh.
6-4.
A night crawler, a net scaler. Look at this. No chance on the other side.
7-4.
It's got to be at least 4 in a row now. Felix was down, I remember, 3-4, possibly more. Quite a streak. Good extra spin on this one as Felix tries to shake out the muscles here. Make sure he stays loose. Good placement on it as well, a little bit more shallow. Timo fighting, they're saying. The Korean style cheer has made it here to China. Extra spin.
7.
Again, the technique is unusual. Timo, very European style in terms of where the elbow is relative to the body. Not a full arm stroke, but he gets a lot of spin. But a fast, aggressive backhand receive. Felix sets up that 2-point lead once again. Much needed point there after the momentum swing.
9-6.
Little help from the net in that rally. Felix, 2 points away from the finish line of game 1. Timo with the angle, gets a net back.
9.
Still has another IOU or two to cash in. Again, Timo's so good at adding side spin mid-rally, whether it's forehand or backhand. Look at the speed on that. Part of the reason that Timo has been one of the great threats to China for more than 20 years now is that he can play the ball so quickly off the bounce. The timing unrivaled in Europe.
Let 8-9.
That said, we've got an all-European style, all-European battle here. Oh, if he makes that shot. Timo never gives up. We've seen him hit diving rollers off nets. Look at this. Scoops it from under the table, side and underspin. The slap doesn't miss by a lot. Watch one more time how close he gets. Hold on. Hope we have time for it. Hang in there. Yo! Would have been cool. And it's 2 game points for Felix Lebron. Ooh!
10-9.
Service gift for Timo. Respect. And he takes
11,
it. Felix
9,
recovers the net. 11-9.
Love all.
Quick turn,
Last
Timo
one.
turning blindly around the corner, knows the game well. Says I have a pretty good feeling about where this next ball is going. And off the net, back down the line on the parallel. Both of these players getting their fair share of nets so far. By the way, when I say one of two matches to go back and watch, just one of two from this session, Hanagoda Chunmung. Put that on your list.
2-1.
Timo finding a way to control earlier in the point. Has the serve here, gets the push on the receive, then goes long. And after that long push, he's quickly into the rally.
Two.
Similar score line we saw in game number 1.
Two, three.
Just to paint the picture a little bit more clearly for you, Timo knows what you want. And just chooses from a variety of other options. There are two categories in his mind, the shot that you want and everything else, and Timo picks from everything else. It's not easy to do. You have to force yourself to do it. Deli and Zoe watching right now. Timo's given so much to the world of table tennis.
3-4.
And it's far from over. A quarterfinal spot awaits the winner of this match.
Five, three.
Felix making it a tough day at work, though, covering the wide wings well. When you're good inside the table, you're good in the short game if your receive and your serve are on. It makes that circle with all the options that are everything you don't want much smaller. It's not getting what you want. It's wanting what you've got. It's what they say. If you can learn how to be happy with what you have, and for table tennis players, that means having a variety of answers ready for whatever comes your way. Slow spinny Timo on the parallel. Gets his 5th point this game. Okay, says Felix. I see you. Slow and spinny again, but doubled up on the spin. Not easy to rally with. A rhythm breaker here from Timo. Gets low. So much wrist on this shot. Having played Timo before, I can tell you he is magic.
6, 7.
And I probably only got a taste of level 2 of 10. Out here, he's bringing his A game, no doubt about it. And a nice empty flick. Less rotation on it. Timo, the long string of points here. And he continues the momentum all aboard the Timo train. 6 of the last 8 points. Even with all the spin on that receive.
10.
Some frustration from Felix. Keep your eyes on Felix if this rolls long enough. Much needed point-saving game point. Both of the Lebron brothers, a lot of passion, no doubt about it. Best rally of the match so far for me. Timo getting a lot back. Felix having the answer every time. Spin to the middle, wide to the forehand, back into the body, and even saves it on the line, stretched. The RPB for the win, 2 game points saved. In a best of 5, Timo really needs to capture this. The caravanning man. pressure. Will there be a
9.
timeout? They're saving it. Timo's got experience should this match go long. 10 serving 9. 4 game points in a row saved. Felix Lebron, it is not over yet, but he has shown nerves of steel so far. Another, a 5th game point for Timo. As a fan of both of these players and a friend of both of these players, it's anybody's match, still. Despite world rankings, it's too tough to call. Oh!
11.
A generous man indeed, always has been. Tough time though. Second deuce point. That rotation wrapping
12,
around the ball.
11.
Curious to know what the axis was here, but watch this. Side top, mostly top, but slow. 6th game point for Timo Boll. Magic Man does it, 13-11, and we're tied up at 1 game apiece. Timo with a narrow escape in game 2, starts off game 3 tied up. Crafty flick. But Felix gets the answer on the other side, breaking the serve. And when he tries to slow it down and add a little bit of extra spin, Felix moves in, leans, and counters back.
Two, 1. One, 3. Let 1, 3. One, 4.
A little bit more fortune here for Felix. See where it comes in. Smart spin, plays it shallow. Looked like the net recovery, but something else clearly, the body language of Timo.
5, 1.
The first towel break, Felix keeping a nice social distance between him and his opponent on the other side. Remember I mentioned early on, young players in general have trouble with Timo. He knows how to exploit a lack of experience on the table.
5, 2.
That sounds wrong, especially on International Kids Day. The point is he can find answers to shut down any opponent's game. Down the line, it comes back deep. Timo on top of the bounce. Think about how many times in modern history Timo Boll has beaten somebody that you thought, man, this is going to be tough. From Zhou Qihao at the World Championships, he twiddled the racket just like the Chinese national team. It's because he has a harder rubber on that forehand. Chinese style anyway. Even if it's not made in China in terms of the equipment. And a timeout now on Felix Lebron's side.
Five, 5.
Toot, he continues. It is 5 points apiece. Timeout diffused. The spinny backhand of Timo Boll can be tough to deal with. Deep to the backhand. Smart placement from Felix. Jams up Timo. It was a race to the backhand corner. He says, I know you want to step around, but I'm going to make you step far. Backhand carries just long. 2 big points in a row for Felix. And a 2-point lead at the towel break here. You don't have to know much Chinese to know Timo Boll's nickname here in China, Boar. One of the first Chinese nicknames I ever learned before learning the language. That's how much respect there is for this magic man. deception completely
7.
here. Gets the ooh out of Felix, the reaction, that reverse pendulum with underside.
Eight, 6.
The pendulum to follow. Timo just replaying that in his head. Didn't feel quite right, understandably, as you saw. 2 points in front, Felix once again.
Let. 8, 6.
And the lob
9,
doesn't come
6.
down either. A little bit of fortune here for Felix. Long serve to get into it, the net. Side topspin. Good coverage, though, in the middle.
Seven,
Timo on the lead
9.
with the head down. That's a tough way to play a ball. I think it was the second one for Timo. Watch this flick. That ball, short stroke, pulls it up into the shoulder. 2-point game. Much better
7,
received this
10.
time around. Felix dumps it just behind the net rather than into it, and it's now 3 game points for the world number 5. Behind the table, a bit of fishing, and it's wide. Timo's on top of it. Still there, too much ground. No, it comes back to the barriers, and it's deep. Timo takes the
10,
point to save
8.
game points. Infinity Arena, while it might not sound like it, has its boundaries here. 15 shots, look how far he had to go, and this gets his steps in for the week. 1, this one right near the LED barrier. Man, Timo still got it. 43, no shortage of physical fitness.
Let. 10, 8.
Heavy spin comes
10,
in, another game
9.
point saved, that's 2. Felix has no more timeouts left. 1 per player per match in a singles match. 10 serving 9. And he's tied it up, Timo.
10, 10.
This would be very interesting. It's already very interesting no matter what. Timo's comeback against the Dark Knight in 2017 Liège, Belgium, the Men's World Cup. But a big point
11,
here, fired up.
10.
Felix earns himself a 4th game point in game number 3. Alternating serves, he's got the serve on game point. And he takes
12,
it. Felix
10,
escapes
game to
victoriously
Lebron.
for a 2-1 lead.
Love all.
Felix Lebron 1 game away from the next round.
Love 1. Two,
Soft
love.
touch, the hands. He takes the rotation off at Timo. Very open face of the racket. Doesn't brush under the ball.
3, love.
And a good start here for the Magic Man. That explosive opening. Even off the net there, the confidence. Side and topspin. You want to know the axis on that ball? That's the one I'm watching, where Timo pulls side and topspin off a net. And to continue with the momentum after winning 6 of the last 8 points, Timo recovers this one well. The fortune was his, so I would say he capitalizes on the opportunity.
6, love.
Bit of frustration here for Felix, looking for answers. Looks back at coach Nat Molon. They had a conversation for what the game plan is. The long serve to the forehand, and Timo knows exactly what to do. Had he stepped around, had he been looking to come in for a Chiquita, that would have been a problem. Slow and spinny, and he continues. Crowd likes it. Three in a row points, and we don't need to see the stat because it's on the scoreboard. 8 of the last 8 points. Timo hasn't let up this game. Suffocating timing. Oh, the block as well would have been devastating if he came back with that forehand. Still a lot of wiggle room on the scoreboard. Looking to send this to the decider. Edge of the racket, and it goes wide.
2.
The VIP seats. Little surprised people don't dive to catch that ball if they understand the context of the match they're watching right now. The legend.
8-3.
Remember, Timo Boll has been #1 in the world 4 times throughout his life at completely different eras, decades.
Let 8-3.
And a few days before becoming 37 years old, became world #1 again.
3-9.
Think about that. Lu Guoliang was already coached when he was 27 years old, retired. 10 years after that, Timo was #1 in the world.
3-10.
The greatest woman of all time, let's say, in the modern era, maybe, Deng Yaping. 7.5 years at world #1, 24 years old, retired. And Timo burns it 11-3. He takes the game and sends it to the decider. For one of these players in this event. Little help off the net there. Timo, I think, still has a few IOUs left. Sora Matsushima had the same in game 5.
Last 2.
Converting both of his serves. Timo fired up here. The crowd likes it.
Last 3.
And an alley from Timo as well against his French opponent. 13 of the last 16 points for Timo. Almost comes down, follows it just in case it catches the edge or something. From this camera angle, you'll have a better sense of how close this last ball is. Doesn't miss by much. Ooh, goes for the backhand around the net. Heavy side spin after some good defense from Timo. The first time in a long time we've seen him playing this defensively.
Two, 4.
So because we didn't show you the stat, in case you were curious, Timo wins 61% of the time in the decider. Felix wins 63. A stat we usually show you at the beginning of the match. I wanted you to know because I was curious and I wanted to know, and sharing is caring. 2 serving 4, 2 in a row. That's 3 now for Felix.
4.
No timeout called on Timo's side. Still has it in every sense. 4 straight points here from Felix from down 0-4. Timo cleans his hand, dries it off on the table. Gets ready to serve 2 serves.
Four, 5.
This has been a roller coaster of a match so far. They'll switch sides of the table. And 5 points ago, you would not have expected that we'd be switching sides of the table with Felix in the lead, but he's won 5 in a row. And a confirmation on screen there of how they perform in the deciding game. With the length of career, remember, Felix has only been playing professionally what feels like a few years in terms of world ranking. Just over 2 years ago, he wasn't in the top 1,000 in the world. Now he's in the top 5.
Six, 4.
That's the pinyin for his Chinese name. And a much-needed point for
5.
Timo after 6 in a row for Felix Lebron.
Five.
And regaining control.
7.
One thing I can tell you about Timo is his mental game is incredible. Looks down at the racket, looks back up, just moves on. Okay, what's next? Smart play with Felix behind the table, shortens it up a little bit, playing for more spin shallow. Aggressive early, flick, baseline, there's deep, and then the next one, that's wider and shorter.
8, 6.
Felix with 8 now, 3 points away, getting that 2-point lead back, the momentum, 6 of the last 8. This one gets away from Timo as he stretches out. You'll rarely hear me say that. Felix fighting incredibly well right now. Side of the table, no good. Like his brother, he says that ball goes down. I don't even know if it was the side of the table. Let's see. Yes, side, no doubt about it. I was wondering if it was the side of something else. He says, not my point. Scoreboard is wrong. They'll change that quickly. And
7.
now all is well.
9.
Timo at 7-9. Crowd likes everything about that. The fair play, the better chance for Timo. 7 serving 9.
Seven, 10.
To be backed off the table that quickly here, Timo. A little bit odd with this score line. It almost felt the way he would start an exhibition, but he's very much in this match. It's 3 match points for Felix Lebron. Deception on the serve
10,
once again.
8.
Second time we've seen that reverse pendulum get the ball dumped back into the net. Ball will be gone. Towel break, the third one, and still 2 match points left for Felix Lebron. Oh, he saves it from there.
10,
He was
9.
completely out of the gates. He left the door open. He was in the backhand corner to step as far around as we've seen in this rally. It felt like he was done. One more time, and he takes it early. Felix takes his chances there. Timo escapes to save match point. No! How did he do it? He recovered the net. He's got a backhand loop. Timo has deuced it up in game number 5 once again. It is not over. At 7-9, that point was peculiar. It was odd. And 3 match points saved. It is still not over, but this is when the test gets real. Deuce in game 5, the decider. Big point for Felix.
11,
Gets his 4th
10.
match points. Coach Molan up on his feet. And the serve with Felix Lebron. And he takes it. Felix Lebron shuts down Timo. Magic ball in the decider. Deuce in the decider. Wow, what an incredible match.